Hello and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Alliance. Of course, I'm your host Clay, and with me, like always, is of course Katie. Katie, I think this is the second time in a row where we have somehow coordinated with shirt aesthetics and
I know.
colors.
Yeah,
Don't know
it's
how
pretty
we keep
impressive.
doing this, but I am totally down for it. Um, but guys, this is going to be a pretty long night for us because we are pulling double duty on recording. There is a special surprise for those of you who are uh, subscribed to our Patreon over at Geek Ultimate Alliance. Be on the lookout on Friday, but we are sharing something a little special there, and I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
But before that, before we jump off of here and go talk about that, we have a whole show here. We have, of course,
Yeah.
some of the, or not some, all, or yeah, some, because we did say we're going to skip one or two things from San Diego Comic Con that came out and about. I have an update from Tom himself. I did say I was going to share that once he answered me. Because we did do a review of Sanctuary recently. Um, and then, of course, we got some random tidbits of news and stories and rumors, which is, if you guys see the title of the video here, and of course on uh, all your podcast feeds, uh, is Star Wars too cool for stars? We will elaborate a little bit on that. It's a conversation the GUA is always having, which I think is hilarious. Um, but I am glad to bring it up again because I am for stars in Star Wars. But Katie, where do you want to go
Say,
first?
all right, guys. So let's knock some quick things out of the record here. So I'm gonna share my screen. I want to share a window. I want to share a window. Here's my window. Okay, sorry. Because we have like covers and things. So this first one right here, and sorry guys, this is my vertical monitor, so it's not as clear, but you know. So I didn't even know these were coming, guys, but Random House World has released new covers for a trade paperback. I did confirm that version of the original trilogy movie novelizations. So you've got A New Hope by George Lucas, The Empire Strikes Back by Donald F. Glut, and Return of the Jedi by James Caan. And these cover arts are done by Devin Schofer, I want to say. So these are available now. What do you think about these, Clay?
These look so cool. I
Mm-hmm.
like the almost Art Deco, uh, art pop look to
Yeah.
these. Um, Now, I don't know if it's exactly the just shading of this person's picture or camera, um, because that is clearly like somebody's couch in their living room or something.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if like the sepia color is really gonna be true, like that almost like eggshell white
Yeah, I would
color.
feel like it's white.
I think it might be like just pure white. But I love the purple on Return of the Jedi. Uh, the orangish
Mm-hmm.
red on the Empire Strikes Back. Look, it really pops, and I really like it. I've never read these, so
I actually haven't either.
I am going to look into picking these up. But so a little story time here. Guys, we will be reviewing Crystal Crown eventually. We're not going to do it today. We did not get the
But
ARC
I,
for it.
yes, but I do have
Kate,
my copy.
I have my copy as well, but it was absolutely terrifying because when I texted you. I said I'm gonna go grab it right now. I went to my local Barnes and Noble, which is literally a hop, skip, and a jump away from my house. Um, and I was like, hey, there's this new book. And I went to the Star Wars section. It's not there. It's a new book, so it's probably displayed somewhere. Wasn't displayed anywhere. So I went to the desk and I was like, "Hey, this new book, can you show me where it is? It's new, so I'm sure you guys have it in stock." And they were like, "Yeah, they only gave us one copy." So I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, they only gave us one copy and we've sold it already." I was like, "Okay, all the way across town is another location. Can you please check if it's at that location?" And so they
Yeah, and
checked
like
and they were,
call and like reserve in advance.
yeah, and so they were like, "Oh, hey, look, there's only one copy there. Let's reserve it for you." So I don't know what is going on with this book in particular, but there's not a whole lot out there apparently. For
My
especially,
best guess is because this is the first time Random House Kids is publishing Star Wars books. So they're trying to get their feet under them and
that's
everything.
probably true. So
So,
as as somebody who is like working also like adjacent with retailers, a lot of retailers will not just go all in on a new publication.
yeah.
So I get that. I understand that. So yeah, I understand. But it was just like it was a little bit nerve wracking because I was like,
Yeah.
I know as soon as I finish the book that we need to read for this Patreon thing, a little teaser there, guys. That I would need to jump on this because we need to
Yeah.
review it for the show. And so I was like, oh no. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I was worried that I was going to have to go to the local bookshop, which I'm totally fine with going to. But I know it takes a little bit longer for those books to come in if I
Yeah.
special order it. So I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And so, and guys, after like reading 17 freaking digital books, my eyes are straining, guys. I need physical books to get my eyesight back. So I'm gonna try to not read so much digital, uh, for at least like a month or two, just to kind of get back into the groove of reading physical books and also not having my eyes feel like they're about to pop out of my head.
See, my problem is definitely that I feel like a digital book, like this is what I was telling Matt, the book that we're reviewing for Patreon, guys. I've read this book like 5 times. And I told Clay, I was like, I'm gonna need till 7:30. I don't know what happened. I don't remember this book being this long. Clay's never read it before, so he had no idea. Y'all, the book had 26% of it as previews.
For the very next like
And
installment
so I'm
of the
like,
series. Yeah.
oh crap, I'm at 62%. And then I'm like, vroom, vroom, vroom. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. So yeah.
But like,
I do a lot better on digital copies.
well, and the thing is, I used to do really well on digital copies, but
Hmm.
we gave the only iPad in this household to Amber Lynn. So every digital book that I read is on my phone.
Yeah, I couldn't do it on that. I've
And
gotta,
so
because
it's
the blue
so
light,
hard.
especially, like really will strain your eyes.
Yeah.
So,
So I've told Abby that after our vacation and after my Christmas shopping, immediately after our vacation, I'm saving up for an e-reader that
yep.
has a decently sized screen so I don't have to read books like this. It's if for everybody listening, I just put my freaking phone like right next to my glasses. Um, yeah, it's just so disgusting sometimes how much my eyes just strain, and especially that I've like learned this new trick and evolved to like a higher level of reading thanks to Katie with scan reading. Scan reading on a small screen is absolutely bleh, like it's crazy.
It's kind of nice because you don't have as much to scan read, so it helps me because I've trained my brain to go super fast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, see, the problem that I have scan reading on a small screen, I like don't realize it until like the third time I read the same line over and over again. I'm like, wait, hold on, let's go back. Okay, keep going. Okay, um, so, but I'm getting better at it, and yeah, I just need a better screen because guys, I used to read comics on my phone, and like eventually the phones just kept on getting bigger and bigger, and so like, oh, this is perfect, like, yeah. But when it comes to reading a book, it's there's a it I've held an e-reader that not the Kindle, it's the other one.
The Kobo.
Yes, the Kobo. I've held the Kobo, and I'm just like, this is a game changer. I need to get my hands on one of these. They look really nice, and feel
I
really nice.
My Kindle wouldn't turn on the other day, and I about sobbed. Like,
Had a
that's how
a
devastated I
mini
was.
panic attack, like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, because my Kindle has buttons because I don't like having to touch the screen and getting fingerprints
Okay,
all over the screen. So it has
yeah.
buttons. Amazon doesn't make this anymore. They don't make ones with buttons.
Oh
So
no. So like
as
once
soon
it's
as it
done,
dies,
it's
I have
done.
to move on. Yeah.
Oh no.
So, guys, the next bit of news that we have. So the Random House Worlds panel talked a lot about upcoming books. And so this Reign of the Empire trilogy, we're still waiting on books 2 and 3. So we have titles and we have an updated release date. Originally, these were supposed to come out February 2026 and February 2027. Now, book 2 by Rebecca Roanhorse is entitled Edge of the Abyss. And it will be coming out next fall now. There is no confirmed month or anything, but it's just fall 2026. So not a huge deal. I mean, it happens in publishing, so that just means that there's more time for this book to breathe
Mhm.
and get where it needs to be. This book is going to be set 1 year before Andor season 1, so it will be 6 BBY. Is when it will occur and everything. And some Andor characters have been teased to be in Edge of These. Um, Rebecca Roanhorse wrote, oh gosh, I was gonna say what she wrote. Now I can't think of it. It is the book after The Last Jedi. Um, please hold. Now I gotta look it up. Rebecca Roanhorse, Star Wars. Resistance Reborn. I was gonna say Rebellion something. So that is her history in Star Wars. She's also written some other short stories and everything. Book 3, they didn't reveal too much about this guy, but it is entitled From the Ashes, and it will now release summer 2027. In this one, there's no covers with these guys. Oh gosh, I cannot see that name on the screen. Um,
So on oh wow. It is
it's somebody new to Star Wars. She's only written in the From a Certain Point of View books.
wait, so the first one is
Mask of
by
Fear, Alexander Freed.
yeah, Mask of Fear, then it's Edge of Balance, Rebecca. See, I was getting confused because I literally thought that I was zooming in, I was like, "Oh, that's Alexander Freed. We already knew this." But no, no, no. When you're looking at From the Ashes, something wild?
Yes, it's a Fran Wild. Um, so Fran has written, because I got the Wikipedia up now, of course.
Oh, okay.
From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi, featuring Mon Mothma. That's right. Um, so that is that. The last one was a new reveal for the February 2026 slot, a book by Mike Chen, who wrote one of your favorite Star Wars books, Clay. This is
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws, Low Red Moon, and it is a prequel book. Oh gosh, where did her summary go? It was right there. Um, sorry guys. Um, oh, there's no summary. She didn't have a summary. Oops. Um, the only
So I
thing from
actually
the panel
have
that they said was Low Red Moon will, quote, make you cheer for murder.
so it says here on StarWars.com,
Okay.
uh Low Red Moon, a Star Wars Outlaws prequel novel, is coming to a bookstore near you this February 3rd. So February 3rd, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Indy 5 and Jalen Vrax embark on their descent into the galaxy's underworld in this essential Star Wars read. It is now available to pre-order wherever books are sold. It and
Yes.
it does reiterate that this is not the final cover.
Yeah, it'll probably be some variation. The cover art that they've got on display at the panel is by Matt Taylor. But Random House Worlds has just been pulling like really cool covers out. I just love it. Like this evokes tension. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, you and I have not done a lot with Star Wars Outlaws. We will have to find a compilation of the cutscenes so we
I
can be
am
adequately
still
prepared.
I'm personally waiting until it finally goes on that dirt cheap sale, where I can get it for like less than $15. Um,
Yeah.
I will say this: it does look like the sales for that game did not do so well. Um, Again,
Yeah.
there's a lot attached to that as far as like, oh, the DLC plus the game is outrageous, but if you do the gold pass for Xbox plus this, you can get it at like a decent amount, which was actually just $70, the normal amount for a game, so it's not that decent. Uh, so there's a lot of factors into why the sales didn't do so well, but rumors are circulating that the proposed sequel to this video game is probably dead in the water. So
Which does suck. It really does.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of people enjoyed the game. Adrian, we know, enjoyed the game from But Why Though.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on the show a few times. So hopefully it finds its audience and can get picked back up. But who knows in this economy, guys? Who
Yeah.
knows? Um, so the last little bit from San Diego Comic Con was the Lucasfilm panel, and the Lucasfilm panel talked a lot about the different stories that have come out. Charles Soule was there, Tessa Gratton, were all present. Just to kind of talk about everything. Michael Siglain was there to talk about the High Republic coming to an end. So a lot of preview pages that we won't really go into. But two new stories did get announced. So the first one is another mini series by Michael Morecki, I think is his name, and it is the Bad Batch Rogue Agents. So they shared a couple pictures from that. They aren't really the best, so I'm not going to share my screen for those. Um, and then the Young Jedi Adventures show is getting I think this is a graphic novel, and it's called The Training
This
Sessions.
I actually have it up right here also. Um, this one does not specify if it's a graphic novel, uh, but it is from Dave Scheit. Sheet,
Oh gosh, I
S C
cannot
H
see.
E I D T, and Daniel Jose Older, of course. The follows the Jedi younglings Kai Brightstar, Liz Soleil, and Nubs with a special appearance by Gentle Giant Burryaga as they set off
Yeah.
on missions across the galaxy to learn the ways of the Force. So, just for the fact that Burryaga is a part of it, I might be buying this for Amberlyn. Uh, and then I'll
Yeah.
read it first, and then I can read it to her. Um, this actually has uh, a release date of December 2025.
Cool.
This looks really fun. The art looks a little wonky on the cover. I don't know how I feel about that, but we love adventures, so
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna have a good time with it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Um, Guys, I just want to shout out the people who did the live tweets for these panels. So laughingplace.com did the Lucasfilm panel live tweet, and then user Koti Seeker on Twitter did the Random House Worlds. That's Cleo is in her name, or is in their name, because I don't actually know. But yeah, as always, we really appreciate live tweeters because we just can't make it to everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So, with that, Clay, take us into this last topic because I'm so done.
So, this is where the title comes from. Is Star Wars too cool for stars? We have a rumor. Grain of salt, people. Remember, grain of salt here. Chris Evans is reportedly being eyed for a role in a Star Wars project. Now, I shared this in our GUA chat and in our Star Wars Alliance chat, where we collect all of our news topics, stories, whatever, so that way we can kind of sit on it, talk about it sparingly, so that way we can save most of the conversations for here. But Travis, of course, our godfather of the GUA, says, "Boo! I think the days of Star Wars not being riddled with stars is over, and I'm bummed." Travis, Star Wars. Star is in the name, bud. You can't have a Star Wars without stars. Sorry.
I
Um,
and Snell, you know I love you. I hate this take. I hate this take because, like, yes, Star Wars got its start as like these are a bunch of nobodies. But you know what? Like, Han Solo, Harrison Ford, star. Like, so you could. I know you complained about
I
Harrison Ford coming back for the sequel trilogy.
well no, but like I think it's absolutely silly for
It is.
Travis to have this take, but absolutely need there to be an A-list Batman every
Mhm.
single time Batman gets casted. Sorry. People may want to argue with that one,
Oh, but it's
but I think
because
this
the behind the mask.
well no, like
Star Wars has
I don't care.
aliens.
It is the fact truly guys, like we are in a very awkward stage in Star Wars film right now where we just talked about this in the GUA Geekverse crossover. Guys, you can go check that
Hmm.
out. We did go live over the weekend, and we talked about, like, literally, Katie, right after you had left, we talked about the next 5 years for Star Wars, DC, and Marvel.
Hmm.
And for Star Wars, I had said that we are in such a place that, like, people may look at the Mandalorian, like Mandalorian Grogu movie, and be
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I know it's been a while since a Star Wars movie has been out, and I really want to see one, but they haven't really been hitting the last few times, so I might skip it until it's on streaming." You know?
Yeah.
Do you know what's gonna stop them from thinking that? If there's big
Having a
popular
star.
names in the movie.
That's what Star Wars needs money. The movie business is unfortunately about money making.
Yeah.
Bring the star. Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. Oh my gosh. What will you
I
give to see Robert Downey
okay,
Jr. as
okay.
Thrawn?
The fact that we have one of the geekiest Supermans doing
Mm-hmm.
every single part of his freaking media coverage
Mm-hmm.
on Superman, he spends most of the time talking about Star Wars. Get that man in a Star Wars movie.
And you know what? Like, screw like, oh, this is Wolverine kind of thing. These these actors that are coming up nowadays, especially, they like lived on this stuff. That's how they became who they are. They said, I want to be Han Solo, and
Yeah.
then got to become the next generation Han Solo. Like, so I don't think, oh, just because they made a big name for themselves as Superman or Captain America or anything, like that it needs to detract from their capability to be in Star Wars.
100% agree with you. The like I need but I also want not only big stars of movies, I want to get your big star obscure actors and actresses from those critically acclaimed TV shows, those streaming shows.
Yeah.
Like we have been fighting this ever, long fight of, oh, does Star Wars belong on television? If you put the right people behind the camera, you give the right
Yep.
person the pin for the script, and you put the right person in front of the camera, it's going to do great.
Yep.
And it's due to this fear of, oh, well, Star Wars is known for these three people and this one family and this one story, and we have to break from that. We have to break from that. And that's what I said on the GUA crossover episode with Geekverse, is that with Andor, we talked about previously that it opens up the door for other people to start pitching genre movies with Star Wars. I would love
Yep.
and I think this would probably uh, get Katie motion sickness. But if you were to give me a found footage movie from like a clone trooper or either a clone trooper or stormtroopers like visor, and make it like
Mm-hmm.
horror, like make it a horror suspense movie. We've
Like the
talked about,
Death Trooper novel.
yeah, like either the Death Trooper novel or Red Harvest is one that we've been
Yep.
hearing rumors about. Uh, you do that, people are gonna be like, "Oh crap, this is like a horror movie, but it's Star Wars." It's gonna pique interest. It's gonna show people, and then you could like freaking the whole reason why we got like a big boom in movies like in the 2016-2020 era was the fact that people were literally making movies on YouTube, and Hollywood was like, "Hey, we need some of these people making our movies." That's why we
Yep.
got what's his name making who made Shazam. We had a whole bunch of horror film directors making superhero movies because they were able to do things with low budget and like all of this stuff. So like you could do that with Star Wars. Just do it with Star Wars. It's not that hard. And you need stars to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Ain't no doubt about it. Um, we've talked about this ad nauseum, so I feel like we're good here. And you can move
Yeah.
on to Resistance season 2.
Hell yeah.
So Clay, this was like my fourth experience with season 2. What did you think?
I I had a love-hate relationship with this season. Because in season 1, we talked about the whole like, oh, this is a little bit of a downgrade as far as like
Mhm.
audience wise, like they're trying to reach a younger demographic and all these other things, right? Um, I got past all of that very quickly in the first season. Same thing here. You have the exact same characters. You have some new characters that come in and out, but like you can seemingly go from season 1 to season 2 and not much has changed. I will say I think
Yep.
the animation is slightly better in season 2 than it was in season
Yeah.
1. Um but the jokes still hit, the humor it was still very tasteful. Uh but the one problem that I had was the types of conflicts that our heroes kept facing were the exact same problems. Oh,
Monster of the
she's
week.
oh, they're a spy. Are you sure they're a spy? I'm gonna trust this person because they had a very sad backstory. Oh no, I should not have trusted them because now they've turned on us. And they did that like I think 3 or 4 times in all of season 2.
Yeah. Oh, like I love Kaz for his undying faith in everyone, but also like have some realism, like
Yeah.
Stranger Danger.
Well,
Like
not only that,
if you
like
want to say
hello,
animation is a kids show, like
you want to join the resistance. Like
mhm.
there's you got to know your surroundings. You were in the Navy. How could you be in the Navy and be so trustworthy? You know?
Yep.
Um so there was that. Um the the more dialogue with the pirates I thought was really fun. Um some of it was kind of getting a little tedious and it was just like, okay, they're literally just here for like random conflicts at times.
Hmm.
Which was, more so just a like, hey, there's not much for us to do, so let's throw pirates into this, kind of thing. Um, but this show also has a lot of heart.
Yep.
Uh,
100%.
I forget his name. Is it
Niku?
Niku? One of my favorite episodes is when basically everybody on the Colossus is going stir crazy because they can't leave. They're in the middle of space. They're on the run. Um, and everybody keeps talking about how, we used to be so used to like outdoors and being outside in
Hmm.
the sun and being able to breathe fresh air. Like, I would much rather be on a random planet being able to do that stuff than to just be stuck here on the run, not being able to do anything.
Yep.
And then Niku comes around like near the end of that
It's
particular
so
episode
nice.
to like Grace basically like create a like hollow on the
A
windows.
volume for the
Yeah,
Colossus.
it's basically a volume for the Colossus. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was really
Hmm.
really fun. So
What did you
I
think
like
about the pirate episode where the pirates try to take over with the old separatist battle droids? What did you think about that episode? That one is one of my favorites.
it was a favorite. It was very very fun. Um, I liked. Oh shoot. Um, I think it was one of the very first episodes where they were dealing with the First Order droid, the rolling droid.
Yeah.
That one was fun as well. But what was that episode called? The one that you were talking about. It uh, was it the mutiny? I think it was the mutiny.
Yeah, it was the mutiny.
Yeah,
Episode 14.
that was actually right after one of my other favorite episodes, which is Breakout, with the Resistance spy.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of like harking back to like OG Star Wars of like, oh, we'll just use the stormtrooper outfits, like, well, that's how
Yep.
we'll sneak in. Like, how many times have you done this? Just once, actually, not a whole lot,
And
but
like don't get me wrong, there's some areas of repetitiveness in Star Wars where
Hmm.
it gets old, but like disguising yourself in stormtrooper armor and the joys and the fun that you see on screen with that never really gets old.
It's because again, it gets a little like it's so silly. Like there's always the question of like, how are they gonna get caught or how are they gonna get away with this?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's those two questions that always make it fun. And then of course there's always the silly like, oh, I have to act like a stormtrooper and that automatically gets my voice like this, even though everybody else talks normally. I have to talk like this. Um, there was even an episode where Kaz was dressed up as an engineer on the ship. He didn't even have the helmet on, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta change my voice." Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, people are still gonna recognize your face, even if you change your voice. Um, but I really loved. There was oh what episode was it where Kaz and Hype had to team up because
Yes, where they're learning how to pilot together.
yes,
Um,
yeah. And people like tend to forget, and I know it's more so just because again, this is a show that is meant for little kids, and Star Wars is made for kids, by the way. It's totally fine that
it's
it's
totally
made for
fine.
smaller kids, but just some of the humor that plays along with that, like you write this character that is a part of the Republic Navy, and then
Mhm.
he goes on to this giant spy mission, and sometimes he tends to forget that he was in the Navy. And it's just
Mhm.
like, dude, you know how to pilot. Like, why are you acting like this? Why is this so
Yeah.
silly right now? Um, but yeah, I actually liked Hype as a character in this season because
Yeah.
there was a little bit of depth to him as well. Whereas in season one, we maybe heard like maybe one or two lines from him. He was kind of like a nose in the air, like, oh, you're beneath me. I'm the BA pilot, blah blah. Whereas this, there was the episode with the Hut. Uh, uh, I forgot their name as well. Uh,
Uh oh gosh. It was Frankie?
it was
Yeah, Frankie with a V.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Because I kept hearing the name and I was like, is that saying Frankie or yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah. So like the casino, I like that. Um, again, because of the timeline, Canto Bite was name dropped and all this other stuff. Which, by the way, um, season two is where in the timeline, so that way people can kind of understand.
So season 2, it basically picks up it's like, so the end of season 1 was The Force Awakens with the big
Mm-hmm.
scene and everything, with the planets exploding and whatnot. So you get here and it's like, bam. And so they go to Dakar in the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so that point you see, oh, the base has already been destroyed. So that is right after, like, basically the resistance takes off from the
Mm-hmm.
planet and you
Yeah.
see that cruiser come down and everything. So um this takes place during The Last Jedi and after, I would say, because you
Yeah.
don't really get any, because like you get Kylo Ren at the end and he is supreme leader. Um
Yeah.
and that didn't happen until Snoke died.
Yeah.
So it goes on a little bit after.
Okay. Yeah. 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 What did you or how did you feel about uh our first real conversations about it because there's a lot of it going on, but her name is uh,
Tam?
Tamra. Uh, there is a huge story plot with the fact that in the very beginning of this season, season two, she is with the First Order, and there's her being like compassionate within the First Order, and she's getting in trouble for it because during training she's like helping people. And one thing that we've always talked about is the only way that people in the Empire, now the First Order, um, the only way they really get promotions and get up in the world of their politics and whatnot is to step on others. And they literally say that in one of these episodes when they're reprimanding Tam. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, you're not here to help people. We work best when we are able to crush the weakest links and all of this other stuff, right?" So
Yep.
I do like how they reinforced that here. But how did you feel about the Tamara story?
I enjoyed it to an extent. Like, I feel like they pigeonholed her with the decisions she had to make and everything because I'm going to go to the dark side and then I'm going to realize, oh, it was a huge mistake kind of thing. I'm glad she realizes that. But at the same time, it was like, okay, could we have done her story a little bit differently so where she's still quote unquote redeemable, but where it's not tropey, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and maybe again with it being two kids, that maybe would lean a little too far in the advanced category. Um, but to me, I'm like, I think we could make it work. So, um, I do. My biggest issue with the series is probably Kaz's naivete because how are you going to go, oh, she made a huge mistake, I'm going to send her a message, like how are you going to do that like right afterwards, because like that just feels dangerous, especially when
Yeah,
the First Order wants our shit and will do anything to get it.
I do have a problem, and we talked about it in season one as well. Uh,
Mm,
that doesn't really go away. But again,
yeah.
I think it's because of with that naivete comes a little bit of humor, and as long as you have that slapstick humor,
Yeah.
hey, that can be on. This was Disney Junior, I believe, or no,
I think
uh,
it was Disney XD.
XD, yeah, or Jet X. XD was the one after that. Yeah, so Disney XD. So like, I get the reason why they had him like that. But again, the saving grace for those moments is when Kaz does have those good ideas, or Kaz does get to save the day, or uh, a compelling, like uplifting conversation that is written within the episode. Like
Yep.
it's those moments that really do help this show move along. Um,
Yep.
if it didn't have the heart that it does, I would not have gotten to season two. Like we've already know
It
we've talked
does.
about it. Um, I will say I feel like there was more uh, compelling stories in season one.
Really, I
As
would
far
flip that.
as oh, you think that there was more compelling stories here
I
in season
I
two?
feel like the story of Kaz the spy gets really old really fast, whereas I feel like this while I still got annoyed with Kaz, the stories were spread out more evenly amongst the cast,
I was gonna say,
and
let me
so
let
it felt
me
more compelling that way.
let me elaborate. I felt like there was more compelling stories outside of the main story in season one
Yeah.
that showed the heart, because in this there is like a almost, I wouldn't say fast pace, but almost at the same time too fast of a pace of a
Yeah.
narrative that they have to follow due to the fact that this is like in between two movies and there's only so many episodes, right? So like
Yeah.
there has to be the story that is the show Resistance, but they have to follow, hey, we can't do this because the movie said this, or like, oh, we can't do that
Hmm.
because the movie had those characters do this. Like they have to follow a certain path. Um and so I do feel like there was probably some things that they had to hold back on because
Yeah.
of that.
Because
Um
you think about it too, they're writing this, and a lot of people think this was originally supposed to be 3 seasons. And when they saw the issues that they had with the sequel trilogy combined with the reaction that season one got, they probably were like, okay, we're not going to do a season three.
mhm.
Uh, but like the release date for the first episode of this season was October 6th, 2019. And you didn't have The Rise of Skywalker until December of that year. So while you would like to go, oh, they were communicating. We all know Star Wars movies, live action, animation. So there's no guarantees they were communicating in the long run.
I almost feel like they should have gone the route of Bad Batch, where it was like, hey, not great reception here, but let's keep it
Mm-hmm.
going just to see what we can do with this. Because
And
look
I,
at Bad Batch, we absolutely
yeah.
loved it by season three. You know.
Well, and I think the other problem that you ran into is this was not a Disney Plus premiere, even though it came out after Disney Plus came out. Like, because I think Disney Plus was 2019, or was it 2018?
Yes, it was 2019.
So this was originally premiering on Disney XD and it stuck on Disney XD. So in that regard, you're dealing with cable and ads and everything, whereas Bad Batch, being Disney Plus oriented, you can go, okay, we're gonna give this some breathing room.
Yeah,
Because it's an animation show and it's cheaper to make than The
yeah.
Acolyte was. So I think maybe if this had been a Disney Plus, you could have said, oh, okay, let's try season three.
Hmm.
But because it was cable based, I can see why it got the axe for that standpoint because cable shows very like we talk about how streaming services get the axe all the time. Cable was very hard to keep a show going.
Yeah, like especially in the later years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we were kids, it was all about syndication. So they would literally just, have shows that had 30 episode seasons and just kept
Yep.
pushing it out until they hit that mark where they're like, hey, we could finally syndicate this. We got our big paycheck. Let's give it to every other channel and we're just good to go. Whereas
Yep.
this, with something like this, if it wasn't hitting, if people weren't willing to, drop the money to have advertisements on your time slot for your shows, you knew, hey, we got to cut the cord on
Yeah.
this.
You get to like 2013, 2014, where social media became a big highlight of everything, like TV reactions and everything. And you go, okay, we have to start being a little more attentive to what we're putting out. And especially an animated show on a kids network, if kids aren't watching it, what's the point kind of thing. So,
Yep.
um, but
100% agree.
overall, I enjoyed this season more than I did season one. Um, I do think the show has its merits. It's got a lot of heart. I'm still not a fan of the animation after watching this through 5 times. I'm not huge into it. Um, but you know what? I didn't mind watching it 5 times. So,
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
and I I would still prefer Clone Wars animation over all of the Star Wars
Hmm.
animation. Uh, oh well, that's hard to say with Visions, but um, yeah, it was a choice, and I honestly think that they were like, "Hey, we need to push this out as quickly as possible. What is the cheapest animation that can be acceptable for 2019?" Right?
Yeah.
Um, and they chose this. 2019 is was still a really big component with uh, 3D modeling for animation shows. So uh, you had this, you had a lot of Transformers cartoons that had this kind of style blocky type of animation as well. Um, so it was just a popular thing. And
Hmm.
it didn't hit 100%, but you can definitely tell if you watch the last episode of season 1 and watch the first episode of season 2 of this show, you can tell that there's an upgrade in the animation.
Yep.
So there
For sure.
was improvements, or at least attempts to improve what was probably a little bit of a backlash for when it first premiered. Um,
Oh, I remember when it first premiered, people lost their crap over the animation. Like,
yeah,
I was like, dude.
yeah. So I really like this show a lot. Now, I'll leave you with this question. And I know it's a question that we always talk about, but because we are here talking about this now, it is currently July 30th, 2025, the time of recording this. Since you were not really there when we were talking about these things on the GUA Geekverse crossover, Katie, in 5 years, where do in 5 years do you see Star Wars animation going back to streaming or television?
Animation?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
like
long,
if they would go back to
like
cable?
like long form storytelling animation. Like, because of course you could say Adventures, and Adventures is like 20 something episodes a season, but it is a pre kids like pre K type of
Hmm.
storytelling, very simplistic. But like, do you think we could get a Star Wars animated series like Clone Wars, like Rebels, or like Resistance in the next 5 years?
Did you forget about Maul?
I'm not really counting Maul because it was already
Okay.
announced. Like I like
So you're saying another,
because
like,
I truly believe again, Maul is only a pocket like worth of story. Like the I don't think Maul is going to be as elaborate or drawn out as that of a Clone Wars or Rebels. You know? That's why I'm not really counting. It's more of a character study than it is an overall narrative of the timeline of Star Wars.
I don't think so. So, because you could say, oh, well, we could get like early Elzar, Avar, Stellan, like we've talked about. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think it's going to happen right now because of Filoni. I think Filoni is very much in the mindset of he wants to greenlight the stories he wants to tell, and he doesn't want to tell High Republic stories. So I think we are going to be getting a lot of character studies versus overarching stuff.
Okay.
Stuff was not where I was going with that, but I forgot the word. So we're going with stuff.
Okay. Oh man.
So that's my thoughts.
All right. Well, I I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best because Like, I see this, and I just so happen to be walking through uh local grocery store here, and I saw a kid with, I'm assuming his parents' phone, and he was watching Clone Wars, and I'm just like,
Oh.
God, I want something more. Like, yes, I could always go back to Clone Wars. Like, I
Hmm.
am, that's not something that I'm like hating for people to do or anything, but like, I do feel like there could be so much more new stories to tell in
I don't
these.
I don't think they will go back to this form unless Dave Filoni goes, okay, I've told what I want to tell in the Mandoverse era. So now we can do like Luke with the Jedi Academy kind of thing. And I don't feel like that would
Ah,
be, but I don't think Filoni's going to be done in the Mandoverse for quite some time. So,
I don't know if I love that statement. Um, um,
I mean, because you look at Ahsoka. Sorry, guys, I had to get my yarn through the needle. Because you look at Ahsoka. Ahsoka season 2 is coming out probably next fall, if we want to be
at the earliest, I think,
at the
honestly.
earliest. And then you have Maul. You're probably gonna do another Tales series, I would
Hmm.
say. So that's what we know of with Star Wars. You probably looking at it, you're probably going, okay, we're going to be having Ahsoka season 3 because I don't see Filoni being done in 2 seasons with that story. You also have the Mando movie that's coming out. Probably gonna see it a second Mando movie. Um, just because I mean, space adventures is probably one of the easiest stories to tell with Star
Yeah.
Wars. And then eventually you're saying, okay, we have the Heir to the Empire movie where everybody comes together and whatnot. But you don't know when that's gonna happen. Because if you go, okay, the movie is not happening until Ahsoka season 3 comes out, like I don't see them making Heir to the Empire until we get Ahsoka season 3. Filoni was
Golly,
like,
so
Filoni
that's
was like,
thirty
I'm not,
thirty right, or that's 2030 right there.
yeah. Filoni was like, I'm not going to be attempting the script on my movie until I'm done with Ahsoka season 2. So if
Ooh,
he does his outline and goes, no, there's a little more story I need to tell with Ahsoka, like this 100% gonna happen.
I don't like that.
I'm just being realistic. I don't like it either.
uh, no, I understand. Well, I understand in the sense of like the way that Filoni has been and how he really sticks to his characters. So I get that.
And I don't mind it, but I do think he's best suited to animation. Like the Tales series has been so good. It's been
Yeah.
so good.
Hmm.
So
I've really been enjoying it too. Uh, but I think that is it. That is it
you
for
gotta
our
share your
season.
Tom answer for
Oh yes,
Sanctuary.
my Tom answer. So guys, I minor spoilers for
I'm gonna put spoiler comments in the chat so Clay can put them
yes.
in the notes.
Uh, this is minor spoilers for Trials of the Jedi, and for Living Force, and for Sanctuary, the Bad Batch story. So I reached out to Tom and I said, "Hi, Tom. Katie and I just finished our review of the Bad Batch Sanctuary, and I had a little tinfoil hat theory, or rather, maybe a minor conspiracy. Is there any connection or reasoning behind the late chapters, as of late, that kind of highlight these Sith moments in Star Wars timeline? in the Star Wars timeline. The reason I ask is that all three that I am thinking of in this scenario all have the same tone and or feel, like they should provoke the same feeling in each book. In The Living Force, Darth Maul made a cameo appearance and killed. I'm actually not going to say it. I'm going to go ahead and keep
Good
that a
job.
secret. And then in Trials of the Jedi Chapter 40, Blank creates. Well, I don't even know if I can say that. You know what? I said spoilers, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. In Trials of the Jedi Chapter 40, Aslan creates his official red lightsaber. And I said, and now in the Bad Batch Sanctuary, you have a moment that is almost identical to the Living Force, but with Darth Vader confronting Celia and her right hand, Parlin. Is this all a lead up to something like Master of Evil, or is this just a coincidence? I would love to know. And Tom said, that is just a coincidence, but very nice observation. And it, like, I'm almost kind of mad. Because I'm like, no, like, you could, like, Tom,
Hey,
just lie to me. Just lie to me,
but
okay? Make me feel like there is something here.
but
But
Tom has said that they will take ideas from things that they say online. So, so
hey, I'm totally fine with it, Tom. Go 100%. You hey, if you want to sit down and just talk ideas, we could totally do this. Totally. I'm totally down. But yeah. Uh very, very fun to hear back from Tom. Uh Speaking of which, we do have a plethora of books to review for the next 5 months. It feels
y'all,
like.
August is slammed. We have, guys, we have Crystal Crown next week, and then well, we didn't say what the 14th was going to be.
Oops.
The Force Unleashed 2, and then the High Republic Adventures 2023 Volume 4. So we have 3 there. Then in September, we have Revenge of the Sith novelization, Charles Soule Vader run, and then Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past. Then we have Legacy of Vader Volume 1, Visions Volume 3, Master of Evil, Last Order, High Republic Fear of the Jedi, High Republic Adventures 2023 Volume 5, and Path of the Lightsaber Volume 1. And that's just till November, guys.
Yeah, it's so much.
But we are blessed.
Yes, this is the star part of Star Wars that we actually like really do enjoy, because we never run out of content, legitimately. So we're very, very happy about this. But just stick with us when it comes to some reviews, because we are seemingly very busy, as you can see, or as you can hear.
And we're new parents. So
Yeah, yeah. So, but I think that is it for the episode.
it
Um,
is.
Guys, you can find me at Fanboy Clay on any and all social media. I am finally getting back in the groove of reading. My problem was the fact that I was off my medication for about 2 weeks. And
Yay.
yeah, I know. And that's what helps me remember stuff. So I was like always frantic. Like, guys, I legit last night was like, hey, by the way, blah, blah, blah. I was texting Katie and she's like, don't forget resistance. And my only response was, oh shit. So I was up
I knew
until
you had forgotten.
I was up until 2 a.m. watching half of the season and then watched the rest at work. It was rough, guys. But got refills on my medication, and now I can remember all that stuff. and I will remember to put things in my little uh, task remember reminder thing, where it actually gives me notifications and then yells at me if I swipe those notifications. Um, so yeah, uh, I will be getting on all of that. Crystal Crown. Uh, I looked because I'm kind of taking a break from Audible. I checked on Libro.fm, and Crystal Crown doesn't have the audiobook there yet, but I don't
So I
know.
just looked on Audible because I'm still on my Audible. Um, it is set for release October 28th.
No freaking way. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
At least it's available for pre-order.
Oh, I think that's.
And
Is
again,
that
I'm
the
giving
longest? Wait, is that the longest we've had to wait?
no, no. Um, I'm cutting Random House Kids again. We're cutting slack because this is like their first major
Yes.
book
Yes.
and stuff. So hopefully the last order is ready to go. But I would imagine what happened is that Tessa got this book for Disney and then Disney sold the rights to Random House. So then there was a hot mess
Ah.
because there's different audio players for each one.
Yep.
That is my guess as to what happened here. I said I don't know. But
Damn.
let's see, is the last order available for pre-order? Yeah, the last order is available for pre-order and it is set for release October 21st. So I'm adding that to my wish list so I don't forget
I
about
will
it.
also, because I was able to add Crystal Crown to the wish list. I will also add Last Order. But
So,
yeah, so Crystal Crown will be the next book, and so I have to get on that like tomorrow, if not tonight.
yes.
But Katie, what about you?
Y'all, you can find me on most social media platforms. That is at Sleaze of Katie. Remember, I'm not there a whole lot. Like my social media time is down below an hour on my phone. So, very proud of myself for that. But I will get back to you guys if you send me a message. I promise. You can always shoot us a text or leave us a voicemail 538-4828. Just give us the name, someone to reference you. You can also shoot us an email. It's starwarsalliance@gmail.com. Remember, there's no A in the words. That's very important. Don't forget it. Also, because I meant to say this before my stuff, I see Kevin Davis, you were back again this week. Thanks for being here. He said, I understand good storytelling matters. Lucasfilm will play it safe moving forward just to get back the audience. Yeah, we talked a lot about that. We kind of kept it brief in this one because it wasn't the main focus. But yeah, I think Clay, you and I both agree on that for the
Mm-hmm.
time being.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming to the live stream, Kevin. Um, so with that, guys, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you are listening or watching, and we will see y'all next time. May the force be with you.